The camera pans over the rain-soaked streets of a small American town, the neon lights reflecting off puddles. A shivering, dirty 12-year-old boy crouches behind a dumpster, eyes darting nervously. Suddenly, a loud crash echoes in the alley. A man screams. Someone is in trouble. Without thinking, the boy rushes toward the danger. What happens next will change his life forever and pull an entire town into chaos. Tyler was 12, but life had forced him to grow up faster than most kids homeless for the past year. After his father abandoned him and his mother had died, he survived on scraps, kindness from strangers, and sheer luck. He slept wherever he could find shelter, under bridges, in abandoned buildings, and sometimes behind the glowing storefronts downtown. That night, rain poured down, soaking him to the bone. He had just pulled a moldy sandwich out of a trash bin when he heard it, a scream. Tyler froze. The sound came from a dark alley a few streets over. Most kids would run, but something inside him pushed him forward. Rounding the corner, he saw a man sprawled on the wet pavement. His leather jacket was soaked, and his motorcycle lay smashed nearby. Tyler's heart raced as he realized the man was bleeding heavily from his side. Without thinking, he ripped a piece of his torn shirt and pressed it against the wound. "Stay with me, man. Don't close your eyes," Tyler yelled. The man coughed and groaned but seemed to focus on the boy. Tyler held him, ignoring the cold and the rain. He remembered the first aid videos he'd watched on a cracked phone he found once, trying to apply them as best as he could. Minutes felt like hours, but finally, sirens wailed in the distance. Someone had called for help. The man's life was saved, thanks to a homeless kid nobody had noticed before. When the man opened his eyes, he looked at Tyler with awe. You saved me," he whispered. Tyler shrugged, shivering. "Just don't die." The man smiled faintly. "Name's Jake, and you're incredible." But Tyler didn't stick around to hear praise. Rain and fear urged him back into the shadows of the city. He had nowhere to go, and nobody waiting. A few days later, the small town of Millstone was buzzing with rumors. The Hells Angels, known across the nation, were riding in. Nobody knew why. Rumors flew. Some said a gang war, others whispered a local vendetta. Jake, however, knew the real reason. He had returned to Millstone to find Tyler. He knew he owed the boy more than life itself, and Hells Angels don't forget debts. The day the bikers arrived, the town held its breath. Engines roared through the streets, black leather and chrome gleaming under the sun. Tyler, hiding behind a dumpster like he always did, didn't understand what was happening. Jake found him quickly. "Tyler, it's okay. I brought friends. Lots of them." Tyler blinked. "Friends? What do you mean?" Jake knelt down. "You saved my life. I promised I'd make sure you're safe. These men, my brothers, they honor that promise." In minutes, the town saw a spectacle they would never forget. 1,000 bikers had gathered around Tyler, not to cause chaos, not to scare anyone, but to protect the boy who had risked everything for a stranger. They repaired the alley, cleaned up the streets where Tyler lived, and even helped find him a small home with meals, clothes, and school supplies. The town watched in awe as the boy who once hid from the world suddenly had an army behind him. Tyler couldn't believe it. He had never imagined such kindness could come from people feared by everyone else. That day, Tyler learned something powerful. Courage is measured not by size, wealth, or power, but by the heart. And sometimes, one act of bravery can ripple through lives, changing a whole town forever. As the bikers rode out days later, leaving the town quiet and safe, Tyler stood at the street corner, finally able to smile. His life was different now, not because of what he had, but because of what he had given. Bravery, compassion, and hope. The story of the homeless kid and the 1,000 bikers would be told for generations in Millstone, a reminder that even in the darkest streets, light can arrive in the most unexpected ways. Courage and bravery can come from the most unlikely heroes. One act of kindness can ripple into life-changing consequences. Community and loyalty transcend fear and stereotypes.